What story did Mr. Song read to the class today?
The Pied Piper in class today.
According to the story, where did the rats appear?
A pack of rats appeared in a little town in Germany.
Right, in a little town in Germany. Where did the rats appear in the town?
Numbers of rats not only in the streets but in all the houses.
Why was Mr. Song angry with Bongsu?
He squeaked again and said,
Okay, he squeaked and again. 계속 그렇게 한 거지? And you should say like this. 이렇게도 말할 수 있겠지? Bongsu was being very noisy during the story, right? Bongsu was noisy, during the class. What did Mr. Song say before Bongsu took off his slippers?
Mom, there's a rat in my shoe.
What did Mr. Song do when Bongsu took off his slippers and shook them?
Frowned at Bongsu.
Right. What happened when the townspeople tried to get rid of the rats?
The number of rats only increased.
Who came to the town one day?
Piper.
Okay, a piper came to the town. Why didn't Mr. Song punish Bongsu?
Because everyone said that they enjoyed the story all the more.
Okay, let's move on to lesson 2. What group is Eugene a part of?
Sunflower group.
What did Gino do to Bongsu?
Question.
What did Gino do to Bongsu?
Then he hurried over to Bongsu, who sat next to Eugene in the 잠깐만.
What did
He drew he drew Bongsu's arm around his shoulder.
Right. So he drew his arm around Bongsu's shoulder. Why did Gino go to the talk to Bongsu?
Because he missed Eugene.
Okay, so 어떻게 되고 싶은 거야? What did he
유진이랑
want?
친해지고 싶어.
He wanted to be closer to Eugene. He wanted to be closer to Eugene. Closer, 가까워지고 싶어서. Okay, what did Eugene seem to avoid?
Gino's glances.
Right, Gino's glances. Where did Bongsu go?
Bongsu go to the restroom.
Okay, he went, 간 거니까, 그지? He went to the bathroom. What were the other kids whispering?
Gino seems to have a crush on Eugene.
Did Gino care about the kids laughing at him?
Yes.
I
I know.
No, he didn't care. What did Gino say he was becoming?
A sunflower.
Right. What did Gino say a sunflower does?
A sunflower looks up at the sun and turns its head to follow as the sun moves across the sky.
Okay. What's Gino's problem?
The problem is, however, that Eugene doesn't notice me either.
Okay, let's go to lesson 3. What did Mr. Song catch Mina and Jiwon doing?
Giggling.
Okay. Why were the girls snickering?
I don't know. Jiwon. I don't know.
그러니까 어떤 이유가 있었던 거야?
No.
그냥 이유 없이 그렇게 한 거지? Okay, so you should say like this. 이렇게 말할 수 있겠지? There was not any reason. Okay, so what did Mr. Song say to Jiwon?
Jiwon, come and see me later.
Okay, what did Jiwon expect Mr. Song would do?
She was sure he would scold me for behaving badly during
Okay,
class.
야단칠 걸 생각했는데 what had happened to Jiwon that morning?
She was scolded severely by Jiwon, her mom.
That morning, 아침에 what had happened to Jiwon?
This morning. 엄마한테 혼났어.
Okay, she had been nagged by her mom, right?
Yes.
Okay. What did Jiwon say she would do if she were scolded again?
She would go crazy.
What did Mr. Song say he'd like to do?
I like to have a war with you.
Okay. How did Jiwon avoid getting punished by Mr. Song?
She got in trouble in the morning and said let's talk next time.
그러니까 아침에 이미 어떻게도 했다고.
혼났다고.
그러고 얘기한 거지? What did Mr. Song say after he sighed?
Alright, there's no, let's talk another.
How did Jiwon feel at the end of the conversation?
She feels so bad.
Okay. How often does the class go on a field trip?
Every month.
Okay, once a month. What did Gino take to the picnic?
Coffee and orange juice.
Okay, who did Gino offer his coffee to?
Mr. Song.
Okay, who did Gino want to give the juice to?
Eugene.
Gino was worried she would refuse. What did Mr. Song say?
Boys should be brave. Only the brave deserve the fair.
Was Gino worried about the other kids would think?
Why did father kids make fun of me?
Okay, so was Gino worried about that? Was Gino worried about what the other kids would think?
Yeah.
Yes, he was. 다른 애들 좀 의식한 거지? 어떻게 생각할지. What did Mr. Song say about the other kids?
Don't worry about them. Just give it to her.
Right. How did Eugene feel?
Surprise.
Right. And how did Gino feel?
He felt as if he were working on air.
Right.
The Pied Piper, Wednesday, June 9. Rainy. Mr. Song read the story The Pied Piper in class today. A pack of rats appeared in a little town in Germany. He began, then I quickly said, squeak, squeak, squeak. Mr. Song didn't seem to notice and went on reading. There were large numbers of rats, not only in the streets but in all the houses. I squeaked away and again and said, squeak, squeak, squeak. Packs of rats have appeared. Mr. Song ignored me and continued, oh my, rats have eaten up our breakfast. Go away, said the little boy. I shouted out, where the rats? Mr. Song started hard at me for a moment, then returned to the story. Mom, there's a rat in my shoe. I took my slippers of rat shook. Then, as if trying to get the rat out, curse you, I shouted, firing at me. Mr. Song just went on reading. The townspeople tried to get rid of the rats in every possible way, but the number of rats only increased. Mickey Mouse takes over the world, I muttered. One day a piper came to the town playing a magic flute. Mr. Song continued. I began softly whistling like a flute. Everyone in the class laughed so much they said that they enjoyed the story all the more because of me. Because of this, Mr. Song didn't punish me. I am a sunfly. Tuesday, June 15. Cloudy and then clear. Eugene is in the sunflower group. I wait for the class to finish, then I hurried over to Bongsu, who sits next to Eugene in the group. I drew my arm around his shoulder, glancing at her. Don't you love studying? Isn't it interesting? You know I don't, Bongsu said. I looked at Eugene again. She must have noticed my glances, but seemed to avoid them. I kept questioning Bongsu, but he fled to the restroom. What a mean guy, I muttered to myself. Other kids were whispering behind my back. Gino seems to have a crush on Eugene. That's right, but I don't care about kids laughing at me. I'm becoming a sunflower. A sunflower looks up at the sun and turns its head to follow as the sun moves across the sky. Eugene is the sun. The problem is, however, that Eugene doesn't notice me at all. I hate being scolded. Thursday, June 17th. Diesel, Mr. Song kept Mina and me giggling during class. I don't know why we were snickering. There was no picture. As soon as I stopped laughing, I want to tell Mr. Song I was sorry. Then he called out to me, "Jiwon, come and see me later." I was sure he would scold me for behaving badly during class. I had already been nagged by Mom this morning. I would go crazy if I was scolded again, so I answered, "But why? What for? I'd like to have a word with you," Mr. Song said softly. "You are going to punish me, aren't you? You sound like you already know what we are going to discuss." I was scolded severely by Mom this morning. "Can't we talk another day, Mr. Song?" He sighed heavily, saying, "All right, there's no rush. Let's talk another day." Mr. Song attacked my rude suggestion, but I don't know why I feel so bad. Only the brave Tuesday, June 22. Right, we went on a picnic today. Our class goes on an outing every month. This was going to be the last one for the first semester. I took a can of coffee and another of orange juice. Before we left for the picnic, I offered the coffee to Mr. Song. "Thanks," he said. Seeing the juice in my hand, he asked me if I like orange juice. I shook my head and said, "No, this is for Eugene. It's okay, isn't it? It's up to you. We are leaving soon. Give it to her right now." What if she refuses? Boys should be brave. Only the brave deserve the fare. What if other kids make fun of me? Don't worry about them. Just give it to her. I strolled over to Eugene with my eyes wide open and looked straight at her. Then I handed her the juice with my eyes shut tight. I say, "Mr. Song told me it's okay to give this to you." Eugene's eyes widened in surprise. He was totally confused, embarrassed. She had no choice but to take the juice. Yahoo! I felt as if I were walking on air.